Welcome to WWPWW. You are listening to Jeremy talk about 205 Live. We had the first episode ever of 205 Live where they have relegated the cruiserweights to their own show. I loved Kendrick's little comment of, they've given me my own show, and now I got the title taken away. That was pretty funny at the end. Anyway, my impressions of 205 Live are this. If you have 2 hands, 2 feet, backflip ability, big playmaking ability, and still can't cut a promo, you are a cruiserweight in WWE. Man, here's the good thing. They can cut real promos. They can talk about themselves pretty well. The real promos throughout the night, with Lindsay and Noam and the Bollywood Boys and even Rich Swann, they did a great job at that. They kind of carried that over from the CWC, and so that was pretty fun and enjoyable to watch. It makes me care about those characters. It makes me care about those wrestlers, and so for that, at least the WWE is putting in a little bit of effort, and so I really enjoyed those. The other thing I really enjoyed, the other 2 things I really enjoyed were, I loved Austin Aries on commentary. Was he perfect? Absolutely not. Was he funny? Was he in character? Was he enjoyable to listen to? Yes. Austin has kind of that suave, irritating kind of feel about him, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed listening to his different style, his different way of going about things. His commentary was really enjoyable. I love Corey Graves. I think he is really great. Is he perfect? No. But having Corey and Austin together, that was really fun. I'm not a Morrow fan. I could care less about Morrow. I'm glad he was a lot less annoying on this episode of 205 Live than he is on SmackDown Live. He doesn't. I'm tired of the Mamma Mia thing. I'm tired of some of the other comments he makes. But anyway, that is probably my favorite thing about this whole thing. I really enjoyed the commentary. I enjoyed the kind of the real promo-esque type thing that they carried that over to the 205 Live from the CWC. As far as matches, the matches were solid. Pretty well done. I am a huge fan of Jack Gallagher. I honestly didn't think his brand or his style of wrestling would carry over into the WWE, but he proved me wrong. The crowd, even in his slow times, they enjoyed his shtick. They enjoyed the fun times that he gave, and that, I think, is what is missing from the WWE. We have all these storylines going on, and the shtick is basically relegated to the promos or to the back room conversations that the wrestlers have, and so there's not a whole lot of shtick in the wrestling ring, and so Jack Gallagher brings that fun, that excitement, that enjoyable sense to the ring. And so I could watch Jack Gallagher wrestle and grapple and do all of the things that he does all day. The match that he had was probably my favorite match of the night outside of the main event. The title match, there were some really great spots in that, but as entertainment, sports entertainment as Vince wants, Jack Gallagher is that. He is entertaining to watch. Anybody he wrestles, it's fun. And so I hope that continues. I hope he continues his little, his fun little stuff that he does. There were some really cool spots in that match outside of his funness. The headbutt at the end was super cool, super sick looking. He gets nailed with a forearm and then just nails Daivari with a headbutt, and then the drop kick that basically goes through Daivari. He does a really good drop kick. And so I really like this match because basically he shows his finesse, he shows his fun technical side, but then he shows, hey, I'm a hard hitter too. And I think that's really needed for Jack Gallagher to succeed. I see big things for Jack Gallagher. I hope he does well. Like I said, he's very, very enjoyable to watch. One other thing that I enjoyed about this night, outside of Austin Aries and the whole commentary team, really, and the Jack Gallagher match, was the main event. Super, super, super surprised that super surprised that they changed titles. Changed the hands of the title. First of all, it was a great match. It was better than any TJ and the Brian Kendrick could ever put on. Rich got in some really, really cool spots. There was some cool combinations in there. This was not only a hard hitting match. They did not hold their punches, or at least it seemed like it. They did a really good job hitting each other, punching each other, kicking each other. It made me think that they were actually, at each other's throats. But there were some times where I thought Kendrick's neck was broken. There were a couple, and even Cedric's too. There was a German suplex in there that looked like it destroyed Kendrick's neck. It was a sick German suplex. There were a couple dragon suplexes in there that I thought really hurt Swan. The Michinoku driver, the spinning Michinoku driver, was really, really cool, and I love the standing 450 splash that Swan does, and I think there's one other person that does it. It's a really fun, cool thing, but it was blocked into a pin, into a captain's hook, which was really fun. And then at the end, I don't quite understand why they did the ending the way they did. It was 3 spinning heel kicks to knock Kendrick out, apparently. I thought there would be, because this whole match was filled with pretty big moves, pretty enjoyable spots, and then 3 spinning heel kicks later, and we have a new cruiserweight champion. And even though those heel kicks looked good, they looked right on. I just don't understand why they decided on that as the finisher. It's okay, because Rich Swann is now the cruiserweight champion, and so as Corey Graves said towards the end of that match and towards the end of the episode, how will this impact Raw? What will we see on Raw of the cruiserweight division? I think the whole idea of 205 Live kind of cuts out from underneath the cruiserweights on Raw. But we don't know. They've got to fill 3 hours of Raw, and so they got to have these wrestlers. They don't, because they have so many other wrestlers that they could pull from. They're not going to. Anyway, it was cool end of the night. Rich Swann, new cruiserweight champion. As far as storylines, this is the thing that is lacking, not only in the cruiserweights, but all across Raw, at least. SmackDown Live, they seem to be okay with their storylines, at least for now. They're getting old, and I think it's a good thing that Ziggler and Miz will end at TLC. Anyway, the storylines on 205 Live were just minimal, very, very minimal. I think they can build on them. I just don't like the TJ Perkins Kendrick feud. I think it's just because both of them aren't so great on the mic. They're decent in the ring, both together, but not as good as Kendrick and Swan was at this time. But we'll see. At the end of everything, Kendrick pretty much was upset at TJ Perkins and upset at Tom for bringing TJ Perkins in to talk to him backstage. And so I'm hoping, if anything, we see TJ Perkins turn heel. I think that would be really, really, really good to see. I think that would be really good for him. I know he's a baby-faced kid, but I think it would be cool to see him turn on Kendrick as a heel, and then eventually him and Kendrick either form a tag team or something, because the cruiserweights need more tag teams. Anyway, the other storyline, I don't know if I said this earlier, because I've already done like 3 takes of this, and for some reason it didn't save the other 2, which is good because I rambled on. I'm doing less of that here. Anyway, the other thing The other storyline I'm wondering if it's going to happen is Tony Nese at the end of his match. He basically said we shouldn't expect to be working in these conditions as a disgruntled employee. I don't know if they're taking real life stuff and putting it um, into the wrestling in the cruiserweights or what. I know several of the wrestlers are not happy with the current state of at least Raw anyway. Excuse me. He makes reference to the ring being lumpy and the ropes being greasy, and so I know that they're heels. I'm hoping this is kind of a work. I'm interested in seeing if that goes anywhere. If Tony and Drew are going to be so upset that they're going to just destroy the cruiserweight division, which would be cool because, like I said, I love Drew and I love Tony. I think they're two of the most underrated cruiserweights right now. But we'll see. This was the first episode of 205 Live. It wasn't great. The things that were good about it were really, really great. The commentary was good. The wrestling was solid. Excuse me. The real promos were really, really good. The fake promos, the promos backstage were really awful. The promos outside of Tony Nese and Drew Gulak. Drew has stepped on some. He really didn't. He really wasn't understandable, but I think he'll get better. I love Lindsay. I can't wait to see him wrestle. And I can't wait to see Grand Metalik wrestle as well. They have some really, really great wrestlers in the cruiserweight division right now. And my hope is they give them the time, develop them. I think that was part of the problem is they're not developed. There was no excuse me, I got stuff going on in my throat. They're not really developed right now, and so I'm hoping that the cruiserweight, this 205 Live, is part of their developmental strategy of the cruiserweights. I think the cruiserweights can be the best wrestling that we see out of WWE. A lot of indie guys on this list. Anyway, that has been the WWPWW take on 205 Live. If you want to hear more about wrestling, it's just two guys talking about what we enjoy about the wrestling of the day, the WWE of the day. Please comment, please click like, please subscribe. It will not help us out, but it will be fun to see. We will enjoy that. We would like to see likes. If we don't get likes, if we get hate, that's fine. Anyway, this has been the 205 Live episode of the WWPWW. Peace.